moment on this conference that I went for in Nairobi, when the South African Minister of Transport stood up in the gathering where there are political parties from all over the world, and he said to me, he said, I want to applaud Liberia because your election was so tight, hotly contested, and President Bouaga only defeated President Weah less than 30,000 votes. And yet, President Weah conceded. He said, you people should continue that democracy. I was proud. I'm going to say anyway, therefore, President, we have to concede and keep our democracy on the path it is. It's something, of course, I'm proud of, and I'm happy he did that. I will praise him any day for that, because not many Africans can do that. Look, let's stop all these political noise. When people do something good, praise them. He could have stayed in power like other people. Yes, he could have done that. When President Bouaga...
My fellow Liberians, I'm Edwin Daniel C. Gayu Jr., Deputy Information Minister of the Republic of Liberia. Today, let's take a look at what His Excellency President Weah has done through the Liberia Electricity Corporation. Before President Weah's inauguration, Liberia was largely a dark country with only 35,000 households having access to electricity. With the exception of few households in Grand Jide, Maryland, and Nima counties that were connected to the CLSG lines, fewer residents in Monrovia receive irregular supply of electricity at one of the highest costs in West Africa. The woes of the power sector were compounded by a major donor apathy caused by the unaccountability of about $6 million United States dollars of the Norwegian donor fund. An overdue debt of $8.2 million United States dollars that was not paid by the previous administration stressed the cash flow of LEC and impeded its commercial activities already plagued by uncontrolled power theft. With the scant supply of expensive electricity to minute parts of 3 counties, to dark Liberia with majority of its blackout cities, towns, and villages was handed to His Excellency President George Weah for illumination. President Weah has increased the supply of electricity to 220,000 households from 35,000 households in 2018. Cities, suburbs, and towns in 9 counties, Monserrado, Margibi, Grand Cape Mount, Bombing, Hong, Maryland, River G, Grand Jide, and Nima counties have received electricity for the first time since our Civil War. President Weah has increased LEC generation capacity from 88 megawatts in 2018 to 113 megawatts in 2023. He made it possible through the power purchasing agreement for the supply of 25 megawatts through the CLSG interconnecting lines. President Weah has also successfully transformed the Bushra power plant from use of diesel to heavy fuel oil and increased its generation capacity from 35 megawatts to 38 megawatts. President Weah has restored donors' confidence in the energy sector once more. He has, over the past 5 years, attracted hundreds of millions of dollars in support of major LEC projects under his administration. Among the projects is the $96 million United States ongoing RESPACT project to procure and install 20 megawatt solar power plant. This project will also add 2 turbines to the existing McCovey hydro plant to boost its generation capacity to 128 megawatts. On behalf of the Liberian people, President Weah has also formed a partnership with World Bank and West Africa Power Pool to conduct a feasibility study for the construction of a 150 megawatt hydropower plant on the St. Paul River. The study is near completion. When the St. Paul River hydropower project is constructed, it will have a generation capacity of 2 times more than the McCoffey hydro currently generates. Upon the urgings of President Weah, the World Bank has already pledged $300 million United States dollars toward the construction of the St. Paul hydropower plant. In a few years from now, the entire Liberia will receive stable and affordable electricity when President Weah completes the RESPAC 20 megawatt solar project, the 15 megawatt Scatec solar project, and the 150 megawatt St. Paul hydro plant. Upon completion of these projects, the LEC will generate about 300 megawatts. In President Weah's Liberia, 1.1 million persons have access to affordable electricity because he reduced the tariff on electricity from 35 cents per kilowatts to between 15 and 22 cents per kilowatts based on your customer type. President Weah has catalyzed the access to affordable electricity by signing into law an act criminalizing power theft. His anti-power theft campaign has saved LEC from over 30 million United States by signing into law an act criminalizing power theft. His anti-power theft campaign has saved LEC from over 30 million United States dollar loss per year and booked about 28,000 corporates. As a result of the anti-power theft campaign, over 15,000 new prepaid meters have been installed and more than 18,000 disconnections of illegal customers have been made. President Weah has made LEC financially stable by paying the previous administration overdue debts and by paying his government debt on time. Since 2018, the government of Liberia has been built up to 37 million United States dollars, and President Weah's government has paid up to 36 million United States dollars on time. President Weah has also issued executive orders exempting LEC from paying custom duties and general services tax on petroleum products, transformers, wires, and light poles to hasten LEC expansion program. As a result of all his efforts, 15,000 transformers have been added to LEC's network, while 2,199 kilometers of medium voltage lines have been installed. What a capable leader we have. Thank you, President Weah. Grand Cape Mount, Bombing, Bong, Maryland, River G, Grand Jita, and Nima counties have received electricity for the first time since our Civil War. President Weah has increased LEC generation capacity from 88 megawatts in 2018 to 113 megawatts in 2023. He made it possible through the power purchasing agreement for the supply of 25 megawatts through the CLSG interconnecting lines. President Weah has also successfully transformed the Bushra power plant from use of diesel to heavy fuel oil and increased its generation capacity from 35 megawatts to 38 megawatts. President Weah has restored donors' confidence in the energy sector once more. He has, over the past 5 years, extracted hundreds of millions of dollars in support of major LEC projects under his administration. Among the projects is the 96 million United States dollar ongoing respite.
Welcome, fellow Liberians, home and abroad. We want to use
affordable electricity when President Weah completes the Respite 20 megawatt solar project, the 50 megawatt Scatec solar project, and the 150 megawatt Simple hydro plant. Upon completion of these projects, LEC will generate about 300 megawatts. In President Weah's Liberia, 1.1 million persons have access to affordable electricity because he reduced the tariff on electricity from 35 cents per kilowatts to between 15 and 22 cents per kilowatts based on your customer type. President Weah has catalyzed the access to affordable electricity by signing into law an act criminalizing power theft. His anti-power theft campaign has saved LEC from over 30 million United States by signing into law an act criminalizing power theft. His anti-power theft campaign has saved LEC from over 30 million United States dollar loss per year and booked about 28,000 corporates. As a result of the anti-power theft campaign, over 15,000 new prepaid meters have been installed and more than 18,000 disconnections of illegal customers have been made. President Weah has made LEC financially stable by paying the previous administration overdue debts and by paying his government debt on time. Since 20
All right, so fellow Liberians, home and abroad, we are very grateful to be here this evening, this morning, this afternoon, based on your time zone. I want to welcome each and every one of you. And as usual, we see this as a privilege whenever we have the opportunity to be seated, right in front of this camera to bring you information that are very cogent uh, to the development of Liberia, the forward march of Liberia, and to inform you about what is happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. So, all of you are highly welcome. We urge that you do us a favor. And that favor that we want you to please do us is to invite friends, invite family members, and let's have a wonderful time. We're going to have a very great discussion. Let's have a wonderful time. Like I always say to people, you don't have to agree with me. No, you don't have to agree with me. But the only thing that you will have to do is we have to respect each other. You respect my view, and I respect your view. So that's the way to proceed. You don't necessarily have to agree with me, but all you need to do is to respect my view while I respect your view. Then, in that way, we know that yes, we are going somewhere. So, again, I want to welcome all of you. I want to say you are highly welcome. Hit for us the share button and let's have a wonderful time together. So I want to welcome and appreciate Bob Jacobs. Thank you so much, Bob Jacobs, for your presence here. We appreciate you. Determined Frank Frederick Thompson Jr., we appreciate your presence. Achi Tape, thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate you. I want to welcome my own big sister, one of our leaders there in Canada, Madusu Dole. How are you? I want to say you are highly welcome, Mandu Sudole. We appreciate your presence. It's a privilege for us to have you here. And please, my people, do us a favor. Hit us the share button. Hit for us the share button so that at the end of the day, we can have a very great and wonderful, a very great and wonderful time. So hit for us the share button while all of us get started to do this together. Yeah, while we get started to do this together. So we can definitely do it together and we will do it together. So do that for all of us. Hit us the share button and let's get started to do what we are supposed to do. Thank you so much. Thank you so very kindly. Thank you so very kindly. We do appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so well. Thank you. So we also want to use this time to welcome Mark Burrow Jane. Thank you so much. Jane, we appreciate you. McCarthy Johnson, how are you? Sibo Williams, thank you so much, Honorable Sibo Williams, for joining us. We appreciate you here. Uh, Timony Massa, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Brown B. Hine, thank you so much for your presence here. Brown B. Hine, we want to say thanks to all of you who are joining us. We may not have the names here displayed because of the limitation from our end, but all of you who are joining us, we acknowledge your presence, we appreciate you, and we are grateful that you are here with us. So as usual, hit for us the share button and let's get started. Hit us the share button and let's get started. Okay, and let's get started. Thank you so very kindly. We appreciate all of you. All of you are highly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jane, for that correction. That once a president is always a president. Thank you so very kindly. We appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. So today we are going to be having some very interesting conversation. And I also want to use this time to welcome user 8468 R3C. You are welcome. I'm sorry, I'm not saying the name. That is what I'm saying. Joining us there on YouTube, I want to say you are highly welcome. At user it is 8468. Thank you so much. We appreciate your presence. So you can join us too on the YouTube. Those of you who are joining us, you can join us on the YouTube and let's have a very wonderful time. Fellow Liberians, a lot of things are happening. Lot of things are happening in Liberia. Some of these things we tend to overlook them as if nothing is going on, but it is serious because these are all signs that lead to an unhealthy democratic process. These are all signs that lead to something troubling. Let me just bring you this again while we 10 to something.
Housing households
Yeah.
from 35,000 to 18. Cities, suburbs, and towns in 9 counties, Monserrato, Margibi, Grand Kipma, Homing, Hong, Maryland, Rivergy, Grand Jita, and Nima counties have received electricity for the first time since our Civil War. President Weah has increased LEC generation capacity from 88 megawatts in 2018 to 113 megawatts in 2023. He made it possible through the power purchasing agreement for the supply of 25 megawatts through the CLSG interconnecting lines. President Weah has also successfully transformed the Bushra power plant from use of diesel to heavy fuel oil and increased its generation capacity from 35 megawatts to 38 megawatts. President Weah has restored donors' confidence in the energy sector once more. He has, over the past 5 years, extracted hundreds of millions of dollars in support of major LEC projects under his administration. Among the projects is the 96 million United States dollar ongoing RESPACT project
All
to
right.
procure
So
and install
I'm sorry.
20 megawatts.
So, fellow Liberians, we are grateful that we can now have the argument based on tangibles. It is not based on who is educated. It is not based on who has become vice president or who have worked in government for 80 years or whatever year. But the argument now has boiled down to what have you done? What are you doing? What have you been able to do? Because being in government is not just sufficient. It goes beyond just being in government. It's about what you did while you was in government, or what are you doing while you are in government. So you see, right now, I like the way President Weah, His Excellency, has shifted the political discussion. It is not about how many years only. It is not about your experience, but it is about how you've been able to use your experience to impact people's life. That is the argument. The argument now is, what did you do with your 42 years in government? What did I do with my 6 years, or if you want to say 4 years in government? Is what we are comparing. And it is quite troubling when you see people of the Unity Party or people who support Joe Newman Boyka, after saying 43 years in power or in government, not just in any kind of common position, but these are positions that you made direct impact in the lives of the people. No, being in government is not just sufficient, because it's possible that you can be in government. Maybe you can be a sweeper, or you can be a janitor, so to speak. You can be a hygienist. But when you are in government and you are at a position where you can be able to impact lives, where your policy or where your workings can impact life, then we will judge you from there. We will judge you from there. So if we are to look at His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah and to look at Joseph Numa Boyka, all of the places that Mr. Boyka served, these are all areas that one way or the other he had direct supervision over people's life to impact the policy of the nation, to implement the president policy. He was basically one of those who were choosing to implement policies and programs, which is very important. Take for an example, this man served at the level of LPRC. So the question to you and myself should be, Joseph Numa Boyka, you serve at the level of LPRC. You had that direct responsibility to ensure that government program, policy, and agenda as it relates to that particular sector, it is adequately implemented, and you that is charged with the responsibility to bring on ideas that will be able to help save the country resources, save our economy. So the question we are asking Joseph Newman Boyka, when you serve as LPRC director, what was the impact? What was those decisions that affected the lives of the Liberian people? When you serve at LPMC, when you serve at the Ministry of Agriculture, and etc., etc., what were your impact on the lives of the ordinary people? That is the question we are asking. We are not asking the question now about whether you work in government. That is not the issue. But the issue here is, where are the impacts that you make while in government? That is the question we are asking. What are the impacts? So if you serve in government and you cannot tell us about the impact you made, then it means forget it. Then you don't want for us to argue with you, because not just working in government. It almost like, take for an example, somebody say, I on the field of play. You know, I remember when much younger, when a man put you on the field, when you know how to play, you can't stay on the table from there. They feel the man can know you know how to play. Anyway, you see the football running, I play with wrong. Yeah. And you know, you got some men that how you look, you can just sit down, put them down, and then you take their football, they carry. But you see men that didn't want can always get be more, and some of them didn't want can own the football. You even know they win the play. You tell the man, you playing number 5. Anywhere the football going, he will lead number 5 and start running straight to the other people. You want for put a passing ball for him to score. Anywhere the ball go, when the ball go on 7, he there. In your mind, he think that he is playing football. In your mind, he think, oh yeah, my man, correct man, he's just running up and down the field. And so now the man look at him, he's saying that he can't sit and say, yeah, man, I'd rather play. But the minute they said me that, look at how we're attacking the man. And they play football walking. You are doing nothing. It was a waste of time, effort, energy, and resources. And this is what Joseph Newman Boyka is doing. So all of the years that you served in government, what did you do? It's not just living from one ministry to another ministry, but what were your impact? Because you headed position that had direct impact on the people's life, that you could take a decision, that you could sit there and say, no, Mr. President, you know, we can do this like this, we can do this like this. As someone who have stayed in government and have, quote unquote, all of the experience, how did your experience transform the people's life? That's the question we will be asking. These are the things that we'll be discussing. It's going to be uncomfortable to some of you, but we don't care whether you're comfortable or uncomfortable, because what we care about is the betterment of our nation. It's about the 5.3 million people for which we are also one way or the other included. So that's what we care about. So whether you get angry, you get angry, or we're telling you, slow down, let's have this discussion and let's be civil. And when we come here, we take our own time, explain to you with videos, with rating documents for you to see. That's why here is the place we call the fountain of the truth, the fountain of the facts. Because when you come here and you choose to listen and not just choose to do propaganda or choose to come with your political ideology, you will learn a lot. On this note, fellow Liberians, I'm grateful to have with us our brother Jake. What's up, bro?
Yes, salute to you, brother. And salute to the followers always. Respect to the followers. Please share the video. We always plea to you people to share this video. Let the message go outside there. Princess Sonny is really touching. We're not here to satisfy anybody. You know, go to the other propaganda channel name where we lie to the Liberian people, because what you have been doing, how you have been following a lot of people that lie in the corridor of Liberia, and you're calling hero, like the Henry started today, we don't get ready for it. I told you on their platform, you know what, we can debate the issue with relay video, because we support a president that rule the country. So there's not propaganda. The fingerprint all over the country. We support somebody. So we're not in the wing or waiting to then we preach propaganda for him to come to power the day for Joseph Newman Boyka. No, you already rule the country. So we compare everything. That the past 12 years with Unity Party, Ellen Johnson, Sally, and Boyka going to 3 years now, we compare. Then the Liberian will decide at the 5 years. So we relay videos. So on this platform, we'll always tell you people, Disregard your feelings. We will never preach propaganda. We won't lie here because somebody ruled the country for 6 years. So that while we're here to bring the debate forward. So if you insult it on the platform, we'll take it on. Then you must go and reload it. Then you must go on all the other channels that support the president, and that they preaching propaganda. But here, we got to show reality here that what will a relay video. So thanks to the follower, you have to share this video.
Thank you so very kindly, my brother, for that. And again, I want to say welcome to Emmanuel Bro. Thank you so much for your presence here. We do appreciate you. Thank you so very kindly for joining us, Madusu Dole. I mean, all of you who are joining us, we appreciate you. And as usual, we say kindly hit for us the share button. And please let us, send us some love sign and some, thumbs up emojis. It will help to save the video. Thank you so very kindly. So, my brother Jake, I want to start from something here, which the opposition has been running with. You know, President Weah is a man of time. He loved timing. When he struck, and that was he was one of the best strikers that the world have ever known or seen. He takes time when he's doing what he's doing, so that at the end of the day, when he comes out, people will see and they will know. Say Gonganu, you are welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. That's my brother right here, even though you're on the opposite side, but it has been a while, and I want to say you are welcome, Say Gonganu. Thank you for joining us. When His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah broke grounds, in fact, when the headquarters was invaded by Joseph Nyuma Boeka influence through the court, and they broke the place down, there were many of us that felt so bad and said, wow, why would President Weah sit down for the kind of thing to happen? The kind of money we have invested in that soil and blah, blah, blah. And there were people who felt so bad. Because I can tell you for sure, had His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah not stopped seditions and called behind the scene and said, no, we can't do this, Boeka do not have the army or the police to march to that place. I repeat, had it not been because His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah was talking behind the scene and said, no, you forget it. You stop this thing here. Let's take it easy. Let the people do what they can do. You mustn't worry. You hold down. You slow down. Joseph Nyuma Boeka do not have the police nor the army to march at that particular headquarters. He don't have it. But we sat down there and we saw what happened. And through the influence of His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah, the storm was calmed. We went there. You saw the number of people turning up for the groundbreaking ceremony. We saw a structure that was not just a common structure. And like President Weah said in his address to his people, we are going to build our headquarters that will be of value, that will be first to none in this Republic of Liberia. The program went on, and there were a lot of people who said after the program, they expected for President Weah to be throwing black on here and to be passing on Broad Street. I get my black. Then they will know in their mind that something is happening. Or they expected to see Honorable J. Fonati Kofa maybe throwing cement bell on his shoulder. Then they say, yes, something happening. So they start to run with this propaganda. Oh, nothing happening to the play. In fact, the CDC, soon they close the play, Yapo, how you call it, teacher, zing around the place. Nothing happening. They get money. Then doing this, then doing that. And it went on for a while, for all of the condemnation. In fact, to the extent that Unity Party said they want to buy because these people don't believe in building. No, they don't build. They use their influence. They use their corrupt money to acquire. But President Weah said we will build from the foundation up because I want for sedition's name to be in this building. And when people pass in, they will say, yeah, I built in there, I put father there, I brought block, I brought cement, I brought this. So he said we build it from the ground. It is not that His Excellency did not have the money to say let's buy a building that is already finished. We could do it. But because he wanted to show Liberian what is true development, how you carry on development. So the program started, or the process started. And there were many people who said, oh, nothing happening, nothing happening. But we want to say thanks to the committee. And the committee did something today that is spectacular. Even though they didn't really want to show it, but they said, we'll show something to the Liberian people so that people can be encouraged to know that we not come here to steal from the Liberian people. We've come here to ensure that we do what is right. And I want to show you a picture, and then from there, I'm going to ask you the question and you're going to start the discussion. This is His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh with the engineer at the site. This is His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh and that of the engineer. And I'm going to just show few. This is what is happening currently at the site. I'm sorry. This is what is happening at the site. This is what is happening. Look at the pillows. Look at the work. Working in silence, like he did when he served the nation. Here is it. Let's just show this. Here is it. This is it. Look at the pillows. Look at the pillows. This place will be Jajante and Gargantua. Look at the pillows. Look there. Look. Wow. Ooh. 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 Look at the pillow. Look at pillows. What? Magical labor. Let me stop this here and we'll move to our brother. My brother Jake. What do you make of what you are seeing? Let's hear from you, sir.
Respect to the follower once again, and to the opposition are watching their platform. But Prince, maybe you know what? They were surprised a lot of people. For me, not surprised me because I know this man. This week, Bissap began president. I know him long time. That kind of thing not surprise me. This guy is a celebrity. He will not lie to the Liberian people, neither the those that support the president or the CDC people. But Prince, you like take out our political hat. Since 1847, the July 26th that will come, 2026, we're 179 years old. There is the president that changed the narrative in the Republic of Liberia, you like it or not. He's a game changer, developmental politician. He's teaching the whole narrative. Until today, all the old school politicians there, that in our old age now, they crumble. He changed the narrative. That's why the hatred began. Let me tell you, the so-called elite, we can name most of them. We know that they took part in politics. They lie to the Liberian people today. Now Liberian people seeing the mayhem fingerprint all over the nation. People plucking it from all angles. The Unity Party say they may do nothing in the country. That will not last. But so there's no surprise. There will not be a big surprise to me. But when they tell you that they're not a surprise to me, let me remind followers here, when he was the president of the Republic of Liberia, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, they were going to a lot of projects. He was not sitting aside. He used to visit all the projects that he only took today. The Redemption Hospital now, all the PAC, the PHP, whatsoever you may need, all the projects, he used to visit them. Instruct my gear, all these people. You will check on them. You say, how the project going? We got to finish it. We got to do this. We don't have time. Besides the corona, we don't have time. The country been backward for many, many years. They lie to the society. So they may change the whole narrative in the Republic of Liberia, you like it or not. Surrogate within the United Party know that this may change the whole game. That why when it comes to power, they're fighting. They may change the whole game. Ellen Johnson said it no. I'll remind Liberians. Ellen got involved with this guy, but the guy, besides he became ambassador representing the Ellen appointed him or whatsoever. Ellen cared this particular president in the background. That why that division started within the United Party surrogate and Ellen Johnson Sally. She never believed in Bwaka. She never believed in Bwaka. She believed in George Weah, that George Weah could take the country to another level. And we saw it. Or because of that smear and propaganda by the elector, they came on a platform and they hijacked the nation. It's a godable society, they fought for it. And that machinery, that propaganda machinery was so strong. But CDC were now pushing into machinery to debunk these people. But for me, that's not a surprise to me. They got more to do. You will see this thing before the rainy season start. The only thing I would temper this project will be the rainy season. And the only thing will temper the project, the rainy season. So in let's say in 2 years' time, by 2026 or 2020, in 2026, by 2027, you will see the project will probably will finish. But this is not a strange thing. Money or not money. I mean, borrow the president what you can say charlatan and all these people. Well, let me listen to them. As you said on your intro, the people don't know how to develop. They never built anything before. The only thing the United Party know to destroy things. They lack power. That's the only thing we know about them. But please, let me put it here tonight to the followers here. My worry on the CDC headquarters number, building the headquarters. No, I get deeper worry. That's why I went on show and told the Liberian people. Because the way I see the country looking, the way I see the president, Joseph Ima Bagat undertaking the country, party headquarters will be built. But if there will be an obstacle to him, there will be an obstacle to 2028 or 2029, where the military not get involved in our episode. They will not play no fake coup by 2028 to 2029 because they know the old man is feeble. We can see the old man is feeble. They all the surrogate. They got the military, they got the security apparatus in the country today. That's a fear I have. Because let me ask a question here, Prince. Let's dive deeper. Why were the greatest opposition leader, the man that became president of the Republic of Liberia, why would the Unity Party people be telling the Liberian people in the corridor that this man will not come back? What kind of plan they will be undertaking for the particular man? The biggest opposition leader. I'll tell people there are two parties in the Republic of Liberia. Liberia will be like America. The Republican Party and the Democrat. Then the Republican, for example, Republican telling the Democrat you will not come back.
No, but the thing is,
they mean that you will cheat the election.
No, let me just play the advocate, right, my brother Jake? Let's just play this advocate. One would say every political party will want to project themselves as the best, and will want to instill fear in their most, maybe one would say neck-to-neck opposition, or in their most hardened critics. So one would say that what is happening now with the Unity Party saying President Weah will not come back, these are all strategy to weaken the minds of seditions, to instill fears in sedition, but they don't mean it like in any negative form. How do you respond to that?
They mean it, Chris. Your man, we shouldn't be gullible. They mean it. What you mean? You can say no matter George Weah come back, we're beating. You can say the man cannot come back. We're beating to the ballot box. You don't see anything saying that statement. He cannot come back. There's something cooking. The rhetoric is on the wall. Let me tell you today that why I blew away so long time in Liberia. It's a fact. Look at the security apparatus. Let me break it down for you. Break it down for you. The NSA, who control the NSA? The former chief of staff, Quincy Johnson, control the NSA. Foley, the army chief from Lofa County, from the Kisi tribe. Look at all the police boss that are cracking down on people, Gregory Como, all of them in bed, the whole security apparatus. Look at the arm that were presented during the Modu riot that came from Turkey. I know the arm dealer. I know the arm dealer their name. It came from Turkey. The military got out of new arm. A vulnerable society who can feed herself. Who can feed herself. But the imported lot of army in the Republic of Liberia. Where for? Now, people within the corridor of the executive branch of government, all that surrogates say Joshua cannot come back. Why they depending on Joshua to not come back? They're not developing the country. Say, we're developing this country. We're doing a lot of things for the president to not come back again. Okay, I remember fully. Let me give you another scenario. When Donald Trump lost the election in America, when Joe Biden came to power, you hear any Republican party, you hear any Democrat saying, Trump will not come back? They said when Trump came, they were beat Trump. Trump is dead on arrival. Until Trump came back, they brought a lot of cases against Trump. They were even planning to assassination at Temple in Buckler, Pennsylvania. You will know the video. We see the video in there. The Democrat wanted to assassinate Donald Trump as a fact, you like it or not. But because God saved his life.
Just put a disclaimer here. You know, we have no facts to that.
No, not disclaimer yet.
We have no fact to that. Yeah, we have no fact to that.
That's the so Republican. We know it.
Yeah, no, you are Republican or whatever it is, but we don't have the facts yet.
Okay, you can say disclaimer, but I'm saying it.
So
I'm saying it. If I been proving the election was stolen in America because of COVID and the fast year. I'm not talking about feelings here, I'm talking about reality. How he came back to power, he won 7 swing states. How he came to power, he blow everybody up. Because the media lied to the American people. And similar to we see in Liberia today. Let's leave the American story here. I told you my fear in the Republic of Liberia. This is my greatest fear. I'll get your scenario. And the scenario will go down in 7 alone. I remember vividly the opposition in Guinea. You know how Dumbuya came to power? Dumbuya was in Europe with all. He was in the American gendarmerie, or I mean the French gendarmerie or the French army, whatsoever you can call it. A contact brought him to quiet down protests. Contact brought him because opposition, the full opposition was leading in all the opinion pool in the country. He knew he couldn't win the election. So what he did, he brought Dumbuya to quiet down a lot of protests in the country. Loyalist Dumbuya came to power. I mean, came to Guinea. Later on, he overthrew. It was a fake coup in Guinea. It was they seized power because they never wanted to give it to the opposition. That was a trend. Then he went to exile. Where's Conti today? It's old man. He's in Guinea now, protected. He came to power today. Conti became president. Conti wanted to give power over. He couldn't give power. He decided to run in the election. They subdued everybody today. Conti is president because the international community is not talking, because the West not talking. So that I'm telling you, Liberians here today. They will say, yeah, there's a guy that told Liberia. I hope it not happen. I hope the military not take part in our election. Because if you see, why they depending on that say the greatest opposition, the more popular man in the Republic of Liberia, popular than Joseph Yima Baka as a president of the Republic. Anywhere the men go. Look at when you say here, the groundbreaking ceremony of the party headquarters. See that massive number of crowd that never exists. What kind of groundbreaking ceremony you see? You can play the video, thousands of people. My only fear I always tell you here, your sedition, your reaction. The only time I will tell you always, you protect the president's security. He's the only man standing, that reality. He's the only man standing to the root of the Unity Party. Who said the Unity Party counting on economics? They counting on CMC leaderability. Nobody they fear in the Republic of Liberia than George Weah. That's a major concentration of the Unity Party to get George Weah out of the way, then they can rule. They can rule for many years as they wish. That's the only man standing. But look at the political corridor. Who can stand? You talking about Gondo can stand? You think the Unity Party know that Jeremiah Kun cannot beat George Weah to the ballot box? How can Jeremiah Kun beat George Weah to the ballot box? How? So pray. Building the party headquarters is a good thing. I know it will be built. I know I have no doubt. But the obstacle where anybody temple with the military get involved, I hope for let them stay aside, all the security, they shouldn't, because the place we come from today, the peace we restore in our country, they shouldn't pour back to that thing. We have a God. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Before I pass it over to you. You see the scenario, I say that people thinking that the military will intervene. They display similar thing that they in Liberia. Let me remind followers. You remember the police had an altercation with the military? Look at the bystander on the street. At that time, when Gregory Kuma and Fuller met at that gas station, what the bartender was saying, we want the military, we don't want the police, we want it. That was a signal. That was a heavy signal. A police in the military class, whatsoever happened. But the bystander, the people that was the Liberian people that was standing watching that whole episode, they had a meeting in the gas station. The videos are there. Why were the Liberian people saying at that time? Great, if you made a survey in Liberia, I will speak now. They will tell you, the country will be split. Many people say they want military because I don't know what they heard the military in Burkina Faso, all these people. And he made a survey in Liberia. People thinking on the military. Let me remind you again before I go. Let me remind you to say this what I'm pinpointing. You know what You remember when Georgia was president of the Republic of Liberia? He went to Qatar for that World Cup when his son was playing for America. He left the country for over 30 days. The same Prince C. Johnson, he was chief of staff of the Republic of Liberia at that time under George Weah. He told the Liberian people on the radio station or on the message, he said, a lot of opposition, he get a lot of text messages from opposition say he should overthrow the government. You feel forgetting? Prince C. Johnson still had that message. He still had all the message that they wanted. They told him, say, listen, they want the president out of their country for 40 days whatsoever. You can seize power because the Unity Party knew they couldn't win Georgia to the ballot box. So they wanted for the military to intervene. But Prince C. Johnson was professional. He never listened to them. When the president came, before the president were rapping Liberia, he said it on national radio. He got a lot of text messages and voice messages. He still have that messages. He still have that messages today. So when listen to me, what kind of government that will come to power? You will still retain your chief of staff. Then you switch the chief of staff. You will not want the chief of staff to become defense minister, but because the military protest, then you carry into NSC. But please, you're not seeing what happened in the country. Zenga, what was defense minister? Zenga was defense minister on George Weah. Who is Zenga? He's an advisor to the military party. He's advisor on security. And the hierarchy of the CDC here, the chief of staff and the defense minister, where are they now? Any government that comes to power, they get rid of the defense minister, they get rid of any government, a higher worker around the world. But why they maintain these people? Why they switching to the NSA? Why they switching to the NSA? You must be asking the damn question. And when I tell you there'll be nothing to come 2029, one day you will listen to me. The year 2029 will come. But in Liberia, for it to happen at the grace of God, and the military professional, the security apparatus professional said, no, we cannot cross the country to a dark day. Disregard. We'll go to the ballot box. We're not interfering in the election process here because we come from a long way. The United Nations and the world spend billions of dollars here to govern the states here to bring the peace here today. We never had Jackie. Who win the election will win the election. If Joseph Baga can win George Weah, yes. It's 1-1. Georgia win Joseph Baga. Joseph Baga win Georgia. It's a retail match. That's reality.
Sure. And Jake, you just jumped into the second issue that I was going to highlight and we're going to spend a time on. And thank you for going into that. It's as if you already in my book here. There are several things that I am concerned about. This is the communication, and I'm going to read few bars of it to our people. Liberian Army Chief of Staff say some citizen urging him to overthrow President Weah. That was
Yes.
December 7,
Yes.
2022. And I'm going to read a few bars of it.
Thank God. You
Chief
think
of
this? Yeah.
Armed Forces of Liberia, the AFL, Major General Prince C. Johnson III, has made a stagnant revelation that some Liberians at home and abroad have recently been sending him text messages
Messages.
urging
Yes.
him to stage a military coup amid the prolonged absence of President George Amani Weah from the
Yes.
country. The call for the army to overthrow the president comes in the wake of a prolonged absence from the country of the Liberian leader, who has been away for over a month and is expected to be abroad up to December 18. In a phone interview with the private owned OKFM afternoon talk show,
Thank
OK
you.
Conversation with host Julius J.
Yes.
Julius J did not name some of OK Conversation with host Julius J did not name some of the persons who are or who call him to stage a protest, but he maintained that the current AFL remain committed to fully respecting the country's constitution. President Weah and his coalition for democratic change government took office nearly 5 years ago in January 2018 after a landmark victory in 2017 presidential election. And in less than a year, he is expected to make his second term bid in the constitutionally scheduled presidential and legislative pool on the second Tuesday in October 2025. So I just thought to bring this so that Liberians can see it. But this is the question. This man was not just an ordinary citizen. He was the army chief. And for people to be planning or to be calling you, it means that these people, to some extent, they have a relationship with you. No random person will not just call you and say this, that, this. It means there was a conversation. There's some kind of conversation that went on. He know these people. Why did Prince Charles Johnson, knowing very well how fragile our peace is, knowing very well the country that we find ourselves in, why did Prince Johnson not name these people and challenge them? Why he decided to keep the information? Is it that some of these people who were calling him are the people today who are in power? Is it some of the people who were calling him and say overthrow President Weah? But he protecting these people that today, now that they have power, now they gain a position, he get a position, he relax. Why is it that Prince Charles Johnson or to present have not been able to call out these people and say, I received this call from Mr. X, from Mr. Y, or from Mr. Z, knowing very well that that particular call has a security implication in it, has the propensity to cause chaos in our nation. And as I speak to you, there is a possibility that these people are still around and they are in this government. Yes, they are in this government. And they might be planning, like you always saying, Jake, and there will be no 2029. Well, I believe that, you have your fear, but I believe nothing will stop it. But again, with all of these signs and symptoms, there are reasons for us to believe that these people are there. They might play a fake coup to ensure that the CDC, because from all indication, this Unity Party government have lost it. In the first 3 years of this government, nothing they have been able to do. They can't show you anything to the extent that everything is escalating. Things are increasing, hardship and every other thing. Taxes are increasing. They have no respect for human rights and etc. Look at all of the human rights reports. When you read all of the reports on Liberia, they are all negative, and that is the reality. Police brutality has become prevalent in our nation. Today, we are seeing that the government is now prioritizing ministers and leaving the ordinary people. We are seeing corruption at all-time high. Why is it, Jake, I want to ask you, that Prince Charles Johnson has not mustered the courage since 2022? So these are the people. Is it that these people are within the government and they are cooking something that you are seeing? Let's hear from you.
Pray. Let me say, maybe I will run a lot of people fellow. I don't care. Now, what I tell you, I'm a different breed of person. To some of us, we're on social media now. Before we get level in Labrador to be silent because for me, we experienced the Labrador Civil War. My greatest prayer for us to not go back to that dark days. That's my greatest prayer. And why I don't want for the military to even get involved or even the planning. I don't want it because they are all professional military. I just think I'm a predation, I'm a political predation. Let me say something to you here. When the particular statement you display here, when Prince C. Johnson told the Liberian people, the entire war, not only Liberian people, he's a chief of staff. And Zianga was a defense minister. One mistake the president made, let me tell you, I was called a shot. He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia. Every security apparatus under the president wing. When the president came back from Qatar or the engagement, he sort of summoned the defense minister. He said, listen to me. Summon the defense minister at the executive mansion. He said, you make kind of David statement that a lot of people test you. What's the phone? The president, let me tell you that we are country. That if the president was radical, they would disrupt the defense minister. They would say, listen to me. I want to see the people text messages. The people that call you to say you must overthrow me while I was asking. Thank God you never overthrow me. Who are these people? The president keep the whole statement, chunk it under the raw. Because of the peaceful nature of him, he wanted no trouble. He just left it at that. He made one statement. Today, as I speak, Prince C. Johnson, but Prince, y'all don't think. When they say people are low IQ people are true. So why do we want them different? Why do we want the chief of staff? What kind of affiliation you have with the United Party? Why we know the military who take part in politics, they should be neutral. The military and the police bosses should be neutral. Why? If we forget that Prince Johnson was appointed a defense minister to replace Zianga, sure. But because the protest with the military women, today they said no, he treated them bad, and they protested. They were what they did to him. The chief of defense minister, they came to them when they more like you can call it like the CIA in Liberia or the FBI, NSA, national security. Like me and you here, they can send people on us around the world. Listen to me. Because Liberia don't have budget. You know what NSA mean? You know the CIA, they mean, you know what they call operative? They come outside to track down people who get played against the country. Now why NSA get heavy budget? Now why American people infuse things into them? Now why nobody can order the NSA? You can order the police, you can never order the NSA until the chief knew nobody dared to NSA, even the president dared to order the NSA.
So Sister is saying something here, and I want to ask you, Sister Lena is saying something here. She said, according to her, they will only try to steal the election, but they will not use any military force.
Sorry to say that, sister. Sorry. Sister, we see the train in Africa. We see in the train. If you look at the train in the West African region, everybody in the West Africa like military now. Because you know why they like the military? They saw what happening in Burkina Faso, while a military leader developing Burkina Faso. So if you look at the train in West Africa, in other African countries, the people, what happened in Equatorial Guinea? What happened in Equatorial Guinea in Boli? It was the army, it was the military that came to power. While you are almost to lose the election, the plan of fake Equatorial Guinea. You feel forgetting Goodluck Johnson, the former president of Nigeria. Other than went to observe the election. Because they need the opposition going to win. The state of fake military to West in body today is Ezra. Who in power today? One of the military jungle. Let me tell you something here. You're so limited in Liberia and get similar thing that will go down in Seven Malabio. Listen to me. Please, when I tell you I'm a different human being, I can think of I'm a whistleblower. Please, let me tell you something. Malabio. Let me give you 7. He's now running for the second term. A term over. You know what Malabio will do? Similar thing that ago will go down in Sierra Leone. Malady is an ex-general, it's an ex-military, ex-general. He will play the fake, that party, because when I win, they will stage a fake coup. Malady all of that country with matter bill. They will play a military. You have watch the video now I'll be making. In Guinea, in Sierra Leone. You expect similar thing that in Sierra Leone when the election time to come. Malady will give it to one of the cronies. When I sorry again, I believe in him. You think that when they got them plenty for the West African region to do something, you're not joking. Fuck off.
So, yeah, so our brother Melvin Kodo is saying that when Prince Charles Johnson made that statement, President Weah should have called him in, or the government at the time should have called him in, whether be it the Senate or the House of Rep or so, because a body arounds the security of the people. So you cannot divulge the senators or the representative. They should have called him in. Now, why you think they just allow it to just slip under the carpet? One would say this is the weakness of the government, the previous government.
Exactly. Let's call it spade or space. And we're going there tomorrow. We're happy we're going there tomorrow. Let me tell you something. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I will always say yeah to you. You will say, oh, you want to you will say, yeah, won't have before you. He been flagging it, yeah. Joseph, and I'll tell you, yeah. Joseph Boaka now running for 2029. You think Joseph Boaka has anything to lose? You will be 86 years, 85, going to 86 years old. Everybody know what have 86 years old people looking. Everybody know it. So Joseph Boaka will contest 2029 in what stage? In our own stage? Why you not? That be reality. We get parents, man. We got grandparents there. It is someone here, people struggling hard to walk. You can see the great Ellen Johnson said he went to the breakfast. You see, 86. She and Boaka will be on that same condition. But Boaka get health condition. So 86 years old, the Liberian people will put 86 years old in power in the Republic of Liberia. So let me ask the beautiful, you want to ask the question, why everybody in the hierarchy of the Unity Party, not the country talking now, but having hierarchy of the Unity Party, what is the opinion of the George when I come back? You think they can beat George Weah? You think they can beat George Weah to the ballot box? It's 1-1. Georgia beat Joseph Boaka beat Joseph and Georgia. Now they're going for the final. 2029 will be the final. My problem here, when the United Party allow the final, what 2 years, going to 3 years now, the hame manner in the country, inflation got the nation. They don't talk about the bread and butter issue anymore. That we cannot see no tangible project concerning the president. They don't think our political heart. The country belongs to everybody. The country belongs, not lead the CDC and the what is the Unity Party doing now? You think the president is in control? They carry as I say, they carry the farm machine back. They bring in some more. What kind of country is that? The president is not in control, brother. Let me tell you, you're lucky or not. The president is not in control. Old age happening, we get parents. Would not, but man, some of our parents not living again. We want to take our parents into would hold our hand to walk with them. That's a reality. Old age will catch up with everybody by the grace of God. The president is not running 2029, but there is a serious catch. Who will replace Joseph Boaka in the Unity Party that can defeat George Weah? That's the political ranking that will happen within the Unity Party. They don't believe in Jeremiah Kuhn. They don't believe in Jeremiah Kuhn. They don't believe in him. But anywhere Jeremiah Kuhn go, he don't pour. Let me tell you something. Sir Joseph even get crap at Jeremiah Kuhn. Jefferson Kochi even get crap at Jeremiah Kuhn. Let me tell you the reality. Jefferson Kochi come back from Static, Monrovia. If he barely to do something, he will kill the whole country will go upside down. That small boy get crap. I just giving you some scenario. Put my fear here, and please, I can't look at the legislature. Other than if the military take over, other than will lose our job. They will dissolve parliament according to martial law. They will dissolve parliament because Liberian people believe the legislature is one of the serious problems within that country. You think that people not know? They will dissolve. I hope, I said that my political prediction, That's my prediction. I hope it shouldn't happen. I hope the military shouldn't get involved with the peace of the country.
So one of our brother here is saying Barack Gocha. He is pointing it out directly. He is not trying to sugarcoat it, but he's saying it out directly that those people who were calling the former army chief, these are all members,
Of
or
the
at the
Unity
time they were all
Party.
members of the Unity Party.
The in
Do
government.
you think he's just making up the story? Or
No. When you start George, we have sorry we call George, we have government officials. Or tap people will call the Prince George say, you're overthrow George for what? Let me tell you something, Prince. They had a thing started. Let me tell you something. You know what? They couldn't believe they could win the election. Let me tell you this. So they wanted for everybody to lose. Let me tell you this. Prince, they would think out of the box. They would never believe they could win this election. That time Prince Joseph come on board here. Listen to me. That time Prince Joseph, Prince Jeremiah come to the table here. The argument was Alexander Cummings to be vice presidential candidate to Joe Baka or Nyomri Kanka. So, I tell Liberian people, they say, oh, when Cummings come to Joe Baka, they're going to win the election because what? Nima Kante was going to be with George Weah. Because you know what happened? Imagine 17,000 votes for Nima Kante. You was there. Because they had dispute. Prince they had dispute with the CDC. CDC never called Prince in-house. And I always tell you, the MDR and the CDC, the same people. Prince Johnson married crew woman. Prince Johnson married George Weah trial people. If you look at the first thing, who called George Weah in Nima County the first time? They see Jeremiah Kunu were in there with CDC. They are all sedition with the MDR or whatsoever. That's just because our hierarchy, they were so greedy, they lied to the president. Why were always being me? Call Prince Johnson and your settle Prince Johnson a la time. But your black Prince Johnson from seeing the president, lied to the president saying he developed Nima County. He's not the godfather, he's not relevant. That was the biggest mistake. So Prince Johnson played the political game. But the mistake, please, I will speak. Prince Johnson still get these text messages. It's a professional security. He's trained in America. He not let too much talking. But Prince, how can opposition will appoint the same chief of staff to become the defense minister before it makes sense for any followers here? So you won't tell me Prince Johnson at the time you were working, Prince Johnson, at the time you were working with George Weah, he had linked up with the Unity Party? So he was double agent? Was he double agent? We're talking about security now. Was he double agent? Prince, you see what happened in America? Prince, see what happened here?
Let me just say this, right? We'll look at our sister's statement and I will say something about this. Now, what is our sister is saying, Helena, is that we will need to protect our vote. Basically, she's talking about the protection of our vote and not to be afraid of the police and, or the military. Do you think
if that time comes, we'll cross that bridge. Prince, and I fear, listen to me, I will be honest to you. The way the Unity Party rolling with the president, and they cannot win George Weah because no tangible they can show now. If they continue that they do 2029, there will be a dead party walking, that reality. Protecting the vote by that time will come. But my political fear, my prediction, my hope, I pray, I always pray. Thank God now the military is professional. They're not involved in nothing. The Bada said they're doing that thing, they're developing, being a rules, they're doing other things. They're all professional guys now. Follett is professional now. I will admit. Not because you come from the low-fat trap. Not from the beginning. No. But if they keep that trend to 2029, yes, then you are talking about protecting vote. But will anything trickle them to interfere? That's the problem we have. That's the problem I'm looking at. If the military make a mistake to interfere, we back again to the dark day. First of all, no international community will help us. They will even sanction the government. They will even sanction the military junta that will take power today. So that's my fear. That man predation, that man, everybody get, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But my question here is why these people always saying the president will not come back? So my move on job will beat you to the damn ballot board. You do nothing for, these are the argument. When you not come back, why are they talking there? Even Joseph Hima Bwaka, even the president, you don't always say Joe, we're not coming back. The whole collaboration, all of them, down to the highest hierarchy, Jeremiah Piane, whosoever, all that story go. Listen to me, you don't know, you ever read a United Party doctrine. They love power. They don't like to relinquish power. There are two things these people like. The violence and the love power. It's reality. They don't let them relinquish power. But see the current of the country, all of them violent. But I always tell them now, I always tell them, thank God is happening this way because everybody gets something to lose. They're paying property. They're children all away. So and I let them be afraid. You know what? The police director, all those in higher security apparatus, what our children are, they're not in Liberia. All of them away. All of them also in the Western world, in Europe, someone in the Scandinavian, someone in Spain, someone in America, other places. I'm talking about Africa, I'm talking about the Western world. And you know the Western world very dangerous. So their family here, they're just working, take that taxpayer money, pay their mortgages and other things. That children go to the funded schools and here in the Western world. They get medical care. So everybody gets something to lose in the country. That's my problem.
You know, Jake, I want to show something here on this, and I'm going to say some things. I'm not going to be in depth, but I'm going to say some things, and I want to show something to our people here. This is a story of that particular incident. The Armed Forces of Liberia arrest Deputy NSA Director Sam Sion over criticism of the Chief of Staff on Freedom FM. There is something I want to say here. All of us can remember that Sam Sion was arrested, handcuffed, and made to walk with bare feet.
Yes.
Prince Charles Johnson, when he was the army chief at the time.
Yes.
One of the reasons why he was arrested was because, according to them, Abraham Gosson Williams on the show narrated that bulk of the army personnel did not vote for President Weah because of the maltreatment that they were receiving from Prince Charles Johnson. And unfortunately, President Weah did not intervene because he wanted to be the military, and we civilian be civilian, and not to interfere into it. So according to Abraham Gosson Williams on the show that day, he said, most of these AFL officers, they complained that they were being treated as slaves. Benefits that due them were never given them. Some of them who were promised based on their rank to have their own at least lay bungalow was not given to them, and etc. And because of that, they were angry and said, President Weah, it's not that we hate you, no, but you are keeping quiet. You don't want to intervene. You are the president of the nation, and you leave us in the hands of Prince Charles Johnson to do whatever. So because of that, we are not going to vote. The next day, Prince Charles Johnson ordered the arrest of Sam Sion because he is the owner of
Freedom
FM. Ordered his arrest, and he was humiliated and etc. But also, I want to say today on this, because the time has passed, there are some things I'm going to say, there are some things I will not say. One of the reasons Sam Sion was also arrested was because when Prince Charles Johnson made that particular assertion that he was receiving call from other people to overthrow the government, Sam Sion said this was a national security issue And you know the NSA covers every other institution in Liberia, including the army. They can investigate any, including the president. Let's put it this way. Including the president, the NSA can investigate the president.
Yes.
They can investigate the president. So that is our highest security organ down there in the country. They can investigate anybody. So when that particular information came up at the time, Sam Sion said there was a need for Prince Charles Johnson cell phone, including him, to be summoned. They should summon him. Check in his phone, get all of the evidence, and see who were the people that were calling Prince Charles Johnson. Because they are call log. Even if you are texting, they have all of these different technology that you can be able to retrieve. Even when you delete a message, it can be retrieved. That's an easy thing. It can be retrieved. So Sam Sion said, Prince Charles Johnson, who was the military boss, cannot make such a statement and just walk away scot-free. He got to be investigated. We got to know. Because if these people are in our society and calling for the overthrow of a constitutional elected president, let us ask them. We also listening to Francis Sakila Nyimale on the air. Remember when that incident happened with, how you call this guy Samuka in Lofa? When the court, take the necessary action and deny him. Francis Sakila Nyimale went on radio and said, there will be no president if there is not Samuka. They will do everything to ensure that Samuka retain his seat or take his seat. We also heard from Darius DeLong, who said, for them, they get gun.
Oh.
They will fire, and etc., etc. So I want to say to Liberians, one of the reasons why Sam Sion was humiliated in that way, form, and manner was because he pushed for the investigation of Prince Charles Johnson to uncover the fact, to know who are the people that were calling him, where they are, and what interest they have politically. That was one of the reasons why. But unfortunately, that man was left almost like alone. Because when he pushed the issue that let's investigate these people, President Weah said, allegedly, I don't want, put my hand in military people thing, let the people do their thing. In as much as they say it and it did not happen, let's leave it.
Let me ask you,
my brother.
Sam Sion, let me ask you, President, we speak. Sam Sion working with the NSA?
No.
You get any information?
No, he's not.
Why not train? Why you not working with NSA? Because they have beef. And who's the NSA boss? Prince, let me tell the followers another thing here. Prince, same gay. Who is same gay? The EPS boss.
EPS boss, yeah.
You saw that famous picture. He pointing pistol to the president. You finish forgetting that picture? Who is same gay? When same gay came to the EPS and the EPS boss, what he did? Over 200 EPS, they disrupt them, they sack them. Why are these people today? He believed the 200 EPS people, they were surrogate of George Weah. They are EP people that train with taxpayer money, well trained, been there for years and years. Over 200, they sacked them. You saw them parading the first year of the Unity Party. You finish forgetting, after the months and months, they will come together, they will do this. The one that benefit, the one that think. What happening to them? Everybody quiet. All of them quiet. All of them in the Republic of Liberia, they're laying low in the country. But let me tell you something. Prayer will say here with no fear. As we experience the Liberian Civil War, pray the country is an evil country. Let me tell you here today, that country is a nasty, evil country. The hatred and the jealousies in that country embedded in our DNA. Liberians, please, how we crumble that country, a field, a poor country. massacre over 250,000 people because of lies and propaganda that waged that war today. Samuel Doe was a dictator. He was a dictator. He was a dictator. Today, they preach that propaganda in the Western world. They went on the great wars of like VOA, all the BBC, they all these things. Talking about regime change. They couldn't make the regime change today. What happened to that country? They dragged that country to a 15 to 16-year-old civil war, where over 250,000 people died. Brothers killing brothers, families killing. Prince, I always say one Prince. Let me tell you, that nation is growing. Prince, there's no divide in the present division in the Republic of Liberia. The whole country is divided on party line. It's chronic. It's dangerous. Let me tell you, the country is heavily divided. I was always say this. You know what divided the country? It's a unity party. The reality. When George Weah was in the wing of the opposition, he was peace ambassador to Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He took that part. He took that award. He took that title from the president. He said, the president said, George, come here and be my peace ambassador. We can calm down this country. We get future yet. We saw you helping the Liberian civil war. You disarm people. Come here. You threw the United Nations. When he came to power, all hell broke loose. He called it on reconciliation table. We can still remember vividly. They can reconcile. He had government of inclusion. He had people within the United Western California were who? Ellen Darling Board. Who was Western California, the United in the CDC? Foreign Minister at that time. He kept the Nikwede. He kept Vice President of Joseph Hima Bwaka. When he defeated Nikwede, he appointed Nikwede care job in the country. The division of the land, that came to the Unity Party, that the facts here. We pledge allegiance to our country. The young generation never saw the Liberian Civil War. So they know what they didn't see it. They see nothing yet. They see nothing. You can see we're coming back to the dark days.
And
the
to just come in on this, I want to bring in this same gay guy in the picture. Remember in March of 2025, Honorable Len Eugene Nangwe appeared on the OKFM with Julius J. and said that the EPS boss had a picture with arm pointed at the head of His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah. And according to the EPF boss, he was mad, he was going to sue, blah, 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 and stuff like that. But there are patterns that you can see and make us to believe that yes, indeed, he was planning something very stupid and sinister. The first thing that he did, if you can remember, when President Weah became the president, when Joseph Numa Boyka won, was to recall all of the security details from Iran, the former president, President Weah. And President Weah said, the people that he same gay was sending,
you don't want them.
Relieve these other people, he do not have confidence in them, or he don't want them. He feel very comfortable with the people who have worked with him over the period. And the Unity Party government insisted that no, we will give you what we want to give you. You can tell what we want to give you. President Weah said no. If it is because of that, or if that is the case, then let it stay. I don't want your security. And almost all of those who were assigned with President Weah as EPS, they all resigned.
Yes.
All of them resigned.
All of them.
Because what started to happen was, same gay decided to witch hunt these people. Start calling them, doing all kind of things. So they resigned and said no. We also saw the same with Madam Joy Howard Taylor. We saw the EPS boss calling security detail, asking for car, doing this, doing all kinds of nonsense, They did. The reason why we are pointing this out is to tell Liberians that, look, under this particular government, the nation is deeply divided. And it's taking me to what you just said. The nation is deeply divided. Of recent, we saw something that is very unusual, but I want us to talk about it. Joseph Newman Boyka said they had the diaspora conference that they had here in the United States. We told the Liberian people that that was just a charade, that was just a nonsense. It was just another way for people to eat money. In less than no time after we had the diaspora conference, something is going on the internet. I don't know whether you are observing it. There is this, even though I know there are a few group of people, but there is this deep level of anger or hate, if I would say it that way, for some Liberians in Liberia against Liberians that are in the diaspora, especially in the US here. Now other parts of the world, but especially in the US here. You see, they are on Facebook now. We have this Facebook war where a group of people from Liberia condemn and say, yeah, let people come back, let people this, let people that. And for me, I think Joseph Newman Boyka is to be held responsible for some of the irresponsible statement that is coming from out of our people in Liberia. And the reason why I'm saying it is because remember, he was the very first person who mocked Liberians. The clips are here where Joseph Newman Boyka said, "You sit down, Trump coming for you."
Yeah, Trump coming for you.
You don't come to Liberia to come and develop. So what is happening now in Liberia with some Liberians, on the internet saying Liberians who are in the US, they must come back, insulting them and this and that. It is sad to see Joseph Newman Boyka, who according to him wants to give diasporan Liberians an opportunity. To see this kind of deep hate that is happening now, it has gone up to social media, where Liberians in Liberia are attacking here and people talking this, that, and all the other things. In my view, I might be wrong, but in my view, I believe that all these things are bred from the president's statement, from what he said. What he said have triggered a hate, so to speak, about some Liberians that are here in the diaspora. What do you say to that? What do you think of that? Let's hear from you.
Me, I will be raw on it. I'll be raw. Me, now people will not let me because straight shot shooter and care. Let me tell you, it's happening in America. It's not happening in Europe. But I'll be honest here. Sorry to say, who I may offend, I'm apologizing to nobody. And in reality, the president was a fight to, as he said, the videos are there. If we can play for the followers here. We send a higher remittance in the Republic of Liberia that keep the engine of the Liberian economy rolling, because a lot of people don't know, especially the group in America. We spend over $200 to $300 million, $300+ million a year in the Liberian economy. It started a long time with Ellen Johnson, started and it continued with George Weah. Ellen never backed damage or bad buff anybody in the West. George Weah never bad buff anybody in the West because they knew the importance of the Liberian remittance, that we wanted to carry gateway, and it was sending a lot of things in the country from the Freeport of Monrovia. We are the engine of the Liberian economy. This is the problem I get with those in America. Coming up, the other children are making a statement, they're going local here. The president of the republic, the father of the nation, when he said the Liberian people Trump would deport you, they saw that video in America. Everybody saw that thing. Why they never tell the president to apologize? To say, Mr. President, we the engine of the Liberian economy. And we decided, and everybody decided to stop 2-3 months. Just that 2 months we sacrifice it. We sending nothing to our family. They won't die, they will die. The president will apologize. But they let it slide. Nobody come on social media and say, Mr. President, you're wrong. Let me tell you something. We're not stupid yet. These were the same people, because the hatred of Joe. Why Facebook silent today? Why all these people you see on social media now talking social things? They all they were talking politics. They were backing Joseph Newman Boyka when Joe wore shoe. They were talking about Joe wear clothes. He eat. Any minister eat crab, they eat lobster, they eat this. They were crime in that country. Any clothes they wear. Why, as the question followers, why the Facebook angry? The whole bunch of people in America hated George Weah. Let me tell you today, what is Facebook empty? And when George was going to make that kind of statement, they would deny Georgia remittance. The whole social media will go blame. They will see that, that boy called Georgia remittance. When anybody came on air to say, listen to me, and the presidential affairs minister, please tell your president, if you're not apologize, would let your campaign in this country that will start remittance for 2 months. We'll see. Let me see how you can make it with all in the Western world. They sit down quietly, months and months pass. Then when us went to Minnesota now to take up criminal, now people don't even live in America, so they don't know what's going on in America. Now what can bad for me? Who said they go arrest people for? Who said they be arresting people? They just take it to Liberia? No, they mistaking everything. Like I said, you want to listen to one media station. Trump arresting criminal rapists, the Somalian that into fraud in Minnesota. That the reality. They don't read. I want to say we get gullibility society. Even in America, other than vulnerable people, they don't read. What you are betting? Who not flat? Who they not put on plane to come to Monrovia now? Send the ass. Who they not? So lies. Fair boys are one of the biggest lying. If you listen to you, they're not arresting nobody. They only arresting criminal. No lab. If you in crime, yes. If you commit armed robbery, all these things, yeah, they cleaning the country. But the president made this statement. Who come ask the president, say, Mr. President, we're going to say you message journal. But why now like people making statement on earth, the whole social media on blaze? That's a serious hypocrite. The main, as you said, he started this thing and they went to war now on Facebook. So the children calling, oh, ask not deport Liberia, ask not deport, who don't get people, who the criminal. But the president was the first to say in the corridor of the country, on the stage, everybody laugh at it. But nobody in America dared to talk that time because you were half of them in bed with the government. And I want George, we had the whole America will start remittance, that reality. So that war they 14, that business, they were in the war. But the reality started for the president. Why they come to all the ministers to Jeremiah P.I., the president crossed the line. They had meeting in America, and they selected people. You know who they went to that meeting? That's still those in the Unity Party. Even in the West, in Liberia, those the president met in Monrovia from the Western world. No opposition, no neutral, no independent.
Yeah. So let me just hold you there, Jake. The number is on the screen. Those of you that want to participate and you have something on your mind, you can give us a call. The number is right on the screen. You can call us and have your say. You will be given an uninterrupted 2 minutes to have your say.
So that's a reality.
The issue is. But my brother, this is something I want to say, right?
Yeah.
Last year, I think all of us can remember some part in last year, in the month of June. There was a very serious case that happened. And up to now, it's like the whole thing, they just sweep it under the carpet. There was a girl, or there was a sister, a lady, by the name of some kind of Siane Gall Ricks. She's a Canadian Liberian. She's a Liberian as based in Canadian, 45 years old, called her Siane Gall Ricks. This lady left from Canada to Liberia after, all of these years of hard work, decided that she was going to build her retirement home in Liberia and she wanted to now settle in the country. This woman went back home, and at the end of the day, that woman was gruesomely murdered right in her house. In her own house. Not in anybody's house, but in her own house. And at the end of the day, just hold on, Elton, we'll bring you on, just hold on. At the end of the day, police said they arrested 1 or 2 persons, and that was it. That was it. There was no further, information about that case. They just wiped it off. So, like you said, this particular hate that you see Joseph Newman Boyka is showing towards the opposition to President Weah have now spilled over to the diaspora. It spilled over to the diaspora. This is the
Yes.
reason why we continue to say, when you see a president or anybody of a decision making is proceeding in error, all of us need to talk it, because if we don't talk it, nobody will be spared. And today, look at what is happening. Look at the hate. I don't think these people who are calling for, oh, Liberian, you're bringing them back, you're bringing them back. One way or the other, they have benefited too, either
Yes.
through friends or through something. But they are doing it because the president, who is supposed to be that particular example of unity, is showing hatred, is showing division. So there are other people ignorantly who have joined that bandwagon. But let's
Yes.
go to the line and talk to our very first caller here, our brother, uh, Elston. Welcome, my brother. We say, how are you, sir?
Am I audible enough?
Very audible, sir.
All right. We love the engagement. And again, I will always appear on your platform. Prince, my name is Elston Legend, we say. And I love to contribute, and I'm never afraid of engagement. So that's why when I come on any platform, I'm a team, respect for everybody on the platform.
Thank you, sir.
So let's begin with my honest take on my brother talking about Unity Party being divisive. I would say both Unity Party and CDC are divisive in terms of how they spoke. Let me give you an example. When the election was around the corner, I challenged NSCDC and listening to me and the two of you in studio. My own senior brother, Len Eugene Nangwe, who was speaking on behalf of CDC, what were his utterance to Liberian people? When we win the election, no Unity Party partisan will work in our government. Now you tell me if this statement is a unifier or a divisive statement. That is a divisive statement. And certainly you are right. Unity Party people, they've made statements that divided the country to some extent too. I will never be blind to Liberia. I will always come on any platform because I maintain objectivity. I will never take one side. Now let me go to Joseph Boakan's statement. When Joseph Boakan says, be there, and I'm just putting in a nutshell, be there in America, don't do something or don't deport you. That should serve like a motivator to any Liberian living in America that, hey, even if you own a nationality in America, it's not your permanent home. And you and I know you can be a citizen of America naturalized, your citizenship can be revoked if you commit a heinous crime or grave crime. Like for instance, if you willfully kill somebody, and you're a citizen, you intentionally kill somebody, they can take you to court and they can revoke your citizenship and send you to your country of birth. So I would see that as a motivator from the president saying, hey, even though you're in America, you're enjoying the immediate, you're living comfortable, but have a second thought that one of these days you can erect a structure in Liberia or do something in Liberia. So hey, in case of eventuality when you get sent back to Liberia, you have a fallback. Yeah, that's something, like I said, we all look at it differently. That's how I would see it.
Okay.
But my brother in studio, I'm going to just in conclusion, try to be a little more tolerant. The last time you call me naive or novice, sorry, use the word novice, I will never offend it. Novice only means somebody who doesn't know something. And it's true, I don't know everything. You don't know everything. So just try to watch the way you speak to them because everybody not ignorant. I would never get upset with anybody. If you were to insult me, I would never get upset because why? I build myself that way because I'm a level-headed person. I'm an intelligent person. You can insult me. I wish one of these days I will come on your show. Prince, I've extended me the opportunity. I'll be very courteous, very respectful towards you because that's who I am. Prince, as always, I appreciate you. And I will always contribute on your program because I do it for Liberia. I'm not doing it for me. I'm not doing it for my family. I'm doing it for the love of Liberia. My entire family lives in the United States. But I love my country. Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much. Let's go to the next caller. We'll respond to that. Let's go to the next caller. Hello, caller, your name and where you've joined us from. Welcome.
Okay, Brother Sharif.
Yes.
I beg you. Please allow me not to call my name.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Go ahead.
I'm a very strong citizen. I had one of the women group parking. Just my 3 years here in the state.
Okay, welcome.
If you see my number, you will know the state I'm calling from. If you see the number.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
You know the state. Okay, I'm not calling my name, but keep the number and call me. I always monitoring you. As soon as I come from where I open you and Wilmore can be on. It's Wilmore, right?
Yeah.
Can be on. Fine. I monitor you for every night. But then 1 year, it touched me. The other I wanted to say, I said, no, let me leave it. But most of the time, we're having CDC meeting online. I don't know whether it can be part of it. We can have meetings and sometime. So, telling you now, my brother and son, keep this from coming to my son, I'm coming, I will tell you.
Okay.
The plan they have of which they keep saying, you will not come back. The last time I called Carlos, Carlos, but I told him, oh man, I said, okay. I called 2 presidents of our members. I told them, okay, but my information I'm getting from somebody among them who is a neighbor to me in Liberia. Anytime they have meeting, because upon in CDC. But when I left, I came her son encouraged her to leave CDC and join and unity.
Okay.
To join these people. And she's not happy about it. If you know what CDC did for her. Through me. So she feels so there's nothing she can't tell me. So I know all their plans. But I share with my brothers, my children, they overlooking it. So thank God I will share with you. Want me tomorrow? Or tonight?
Okay, definitely. I will do. Thank you so very kindly. So we had another call coming in. Let's see if we can get back to that caller. Let's see if we can get that caller. Sorry, let's see if we can get that caller. Hello, caller, your name and where you've joined us from. Welcome.
Yeah, brother friend, how you doing?
We are okay. Thank you for asking. Welcome, Sister Lena. Let's hear from you, Mama.
I'm following your show. My brother was blessing. Let me start with the America first. No, America, that one, when my brother saying that true. People have paper they're resting and maybe they're not following the news. People just need to pray for people, that's it. We have people that have documents, they are being arrested. Now only people now get documented. See what happened in Liberia, in America, that think to be praying for people now saying, oh, the people that get paper, that not everybody that's criminal.
Let me finish here.
You were saying that my daughter husband was deported. He's not criminal. So we have people that are being deported. Or we have people that are in prison that their relationship that in Liberia, people that do small things. The thing that happened, so the other woman that got arrested, she ran one back check 10 years ago. She in prison for four months. So we gotta be careful when we're talking. It's not everybody here that don't have papers. Some people came to visit here, they don't have papers. And so there are people saying, not saying in the country. So things are happening to people. If we don't want to pray for them, let's just leave it like that. When I say, oh, the people that criminal, everybody was criminal. So let's go back to our Liberia story.
Thank you.
And according to the information that I'm getting, look, Liberia, the military, we're not going back to war. We're not going back to 1990, military not taking over. The only thing, CDC need to protect the vote. The military will terminate us. The military and the police will use them, but we have to protect our vote. And the other person we should keep our eyes on is the election commission because she wants to the election. And I said the first election, the story election brought them like in our face. And then we give it to them. But this come around, we're not going to start running like that. We're not even going to preach the Bible. Because no, the country not going to go through Joseph Water and says here. So we need to stand up for our right. Time for the election. Everybody should protect the vote. Don't be afraid of the police. The election commission will have to keep an eye on the election commission. Yeah, whatever. We're not going back to military time again because we tried before in our time. So thank you for the show. Watching the show.
Thank you so much, Sister Lena. I want to say thank you so much. So, my brother Jake, I want us to look at the issue that was raised by our brother Elton, the legend Wise.
If it's not on it, I never call it audio group. So
okay, so he said, according to our brother Elton, that this issue of division is something that the both party, both the CDC and that of the Unity Party, stir up in Liberia, according to him. And for the CDC, what he pointed out was the statement of Len Eugene Nangbe when he said, when CDC wins the election, that was in 2023, that, they will give job to sedition, according to what he said. He said these were statements that were very divisive. And the second thing he talked about was let me see, the Boyka statement, according to him, that President Boyka statement where he talked that Liberians should go back, should serve as a motivation instead of serving as a hate. It should be a kind of motivational, statement, etc., etc. So I just want to address from my own way the two, and you can come in.
Mhm.
The first thing is I see our brother Elton statement about Len Eugene Nangwe saying that sedition must be given an opportunity, that was a division. I see that as a deception, and I think it's far from
Yes,
the truth. The
exactly.
reason for which I'm saying it is that Len Eugene Nangwe didn't speak in the capacity of a vice president or a president. He spoke at the time as a partisan who was promising his people that when we have the opportunity, we will also look at you. We will also be able to, factor you in the government. We will ensure that you are given an opportunity as a partisan. That was not a national, that was not a policy statement, so to speak. He was speaking at a party rally, at a function, where people go and they speak and whatever. And more besides, his statement is not a policy statement. He is not the president. He is an appointee. We saw the president displaying high level of stop, mommy. It's okay. So we saw the president displaying a very high level of maturity and unity. Like you said, Prince Charles Johnson and the rest of the other guys, the vice president, the Joseph Numa Boyka, and all of these guys were employed. So for you to say that that statement was a division, then I beg to differ. I think you are wrong. Because then Eugene Nangwe was not the vice president, was not the president, or maybe a cabinet, let's say the cabinet director. He was speaking at a function, a political function. That is one. The second issue, for you to tell us that the statement of Joseph Numa Boyka by telling Liberians, you're sitting there, Trump coming for you, that it should serve as a motivation, is also, in my view, is also wrong. Because Joseph Numa Boyka should have a better international diplomacy manner of approaching these issues. Do you know how many Liberians contribute to Liberia in terms of taxes, in terms of remittance? A president will use such an irresponsible statement. You should be there to use your foreign minister to see how best you can engage the American government. Say, look, let's work around things. Let's do things. Let's see how best we can use the diplomatic channel to ensure that Liberians that are in America, they have some opportunities. During President Weah, we saw it happening. When President Weah was able to use Maxwell Kimaya, the foreign affairs, to appeal some kind of way, and we saw the extension of the DED. Under President Weah, we saw the extension of the DED, the deferment, whatever they call it, the DED, it was extended. So for Joseph Numa Boyka not to engage his counterpart, the man who he say he can call and he can talk to this man, but to mock Liberian, it doesn't serve as a motivation. Let's even agree that if Liberians were to go back in Liberia, let's agree. Can the government absorb the number of Liberians that will be sent back home? Do you have the job market for them? Do you have the opportunity, the facility for them? So for you to say that statement was a motivation, I beg to differ. I don't think it was a motivation. In my view, I don't think it was a motivation. It was a way of even discouraging these people more and making these people vulnerable. The first thing you should be doing as a leader, as a president, is to be engaging your other partner or the country that is making these statements to say, look, we can work something out. We can do this. We can do that, for our people to be there. Now we do not have the capacity because we saw it under President Weah, where when some of these people, they were talking about deporting almost about some 100 people, President Weah said it. That we engage our partner, we engage the United States because we do not have the capacity to right now absorb the number of people that you are sending back home. We are not in a position. So I think for our brother Elton to say that is a motivation, in my opinion, in my view, I think it is not a motivation. It shows division. It shows a president who don't care about his people. It shows a president who will leave his people to be very vulnerable and allow people to prey on them. But let's hear from you, my brother Jake.
Yeah, let me little bit respond. I don't have to respond to this kind of statement there. Because Elton missed a mark. You know, he even understand where we come from. He talking about 2023 election period when Eugene was saying that thing. Elton, you made a lot of mistake. I told you the division started when George Weah took the mantle of authority. How the division started from within the Unity Party. George Weah had government inclusion. When George Weah told the Liberian people, the opposition, you not come on this table, this reconciliation. You not come work together. Bargain be bargain, election is over. What did they? The opposition refused to reconcile. They refused to attend that meeting. Let me go further, Elton. Let me go further. When George Weah became president of the Republic of Liberia, who the first person he visited? He visited the then vice president at that time, Joseph Yiman Bwaga, at the rehab belt, in the rehab community. They living close by. He drove to the president with McClary Weah. He said, "Oh, Mr. President, Vice President, I keep to pay homage to you. You follow to us here. But election is over. Go to the video, Elton. You're going to take out your political hat, your feelings then. We don't preach propaganda here. We say reality. Why would we live video here? He said, Mr. President, if the Vice President election is over, we can all work together. If you have anybody, if you have name of people that you can give to me, I will work with you. I will bring it on board for us to all live this country. That was a statement by the President of the Republic at that time. Joseph Iman Baga's son. We're working George Weah government. Look at the table turn now. What's happening? Wish hunting. So when you come here and you want to try to make a hypocritical statement here, when I work here with someone else, no, when I work here, you can be in your feelings, or you're not in your feelings, or that the reality. George Weah gave the olive branch to the opposition for them to unite the country, but they refused. Let me remind you again. 6 to 7 months into George Weah's presidency, the whole campaign started against the president. Henry started unleashed with their surrogate. Everybody had platform. They started unleashing lies and propaganda in the corridor of the country, outside of the country. $16 billion missing money, all that garbage that were all debunked. George Weah selling your all block. He paying for the condominium. All these lies and garbage that they spread all over the place today. They brought the division. The division of the land today started with the Unity Party. But the Unity Party were ruling the country under Ellen Johnson said it. George Weah was peace ambassador. He quite done a lot of protest. People protesting the country. But he was saying alarming because of the peace of the nation. But look how they divided today. Seriously divided, a divided nation. Every corridor of the country. Wish hunting. Even civil serving. If you're not member of if you're not opposition, you cannot work in civil serving. Civil serving also contain everybody. I said minister, probably yes. For everybody, you wish hunt. Presidential affair. Over 200 people, you dance out everybody. The GSA, everywhere. The police divided. The military divided. Who brought the division? It's the Unity Party. Sooner they say you get alignment with the CDC. When they scroll down in your Facebook page, they see anything titled CDC. You treat that differently in the country. Look at the rape cases that are going on in the country. Who are doing the rape? Who are doing the rape in the country? They said they're fighting drugs. Drugs were non-bearable in the country. Rape non-bearable in our country according to our law. But all these people that are paraded with drugs on social media, in the media. You go to the prison now, you will not find these people. All of them free. When you're on the other side, when they catch you with drugs, then They align you. So Elton, you're wrong. You know, the division started. I'm not talking about 2023 when Eugene made out. Eugene was angry because even Eugene made us, it made us say you were angry. You were angry that we got election time. He angry. But initial say 20 when the election, when Georgia took the mountain 2018, 2019, the division started within the Unity Party. They took the whole airwave. Social media was the light. Everywhere. Everybody had poor care. They damaged the country. They damaged the country with division. And today they continue that division. You silence over 200 EPS. Police divided, the military divided. The security apparatus. If you in CDC side, you are working before the dancer, everybody. So we're having a divided nation, a time-bomb country. So Elton, you're wrong. You must take out your heart. You cannot come here and cajole. Or no, we're smarter than you. What we say, we tell you here, we don't preach propaganda. There's not a propaganda channel. Go to the other reloaded and the other channel, and then you will see propaganda because they don't display nothing. We display facts, we display video for the former president, video for the present president. Without here, we pledge and listen to our land. If the Unity Party win, we all win. But they keep too lies, so they shouldn't govern with lies. That's why we fight. That's why we're putting our feet to the fire here. All the things they promise the Liberian people, when they do it, yes. Heavy inflation in the country. Are they addressing the bread and butter issue today? No, they're not addressing the bread and butter issue they used to talk about. Everything crumbling in the country on 2 years in that presidency now. 2 years on the president watch. They can see that way too. So what are you talking here? They talk about $1.2 billion budget. Nobody can see how the budget ever going said. Nobody can see. They just hijack that budget because CDC had $800 million. So they just want to say they will see it, they $1 to $2 billion. Heavy inflation in the country. What are you talking about? With Liberia now, we're more the hungry country now. In Africa now, among the hungriest country in Africa. We don't even the country 5 million people. So what are you talking here, Elton? Elton, you take out your political heart. When you come here with facts. No, we're talking about since 2018, the division started with the Unity Party. Now that statement, you can Eugene Nangbe make statement. Everybody can be a lot of time. Everybody can say things. So that one is different. What about Braga? What said he would dance with the devil? You think we actually believe he danced with the devil? No, that was a political statement. The devil you were talking to about a lot of time was Henry Johnson. He was the devil. He said, I would dance with the devil in Nima to win the election. So he danced with the devil and Nima gained the vote. Then he killed the same devil. The same devil died under that watch.
My brother, thank you. But let me just say this, like you said. From all indication, it is the Unity Party that begin to beat this war drum or this drum of division. From the very inception of the Unity Party, from the very inception of the CDC, the Unity Party projected a picture that seditions were a bunch of hooligans, that they were a bunch of young people who have no brains. They categorize seditions as just bunch of people with no purpose from the very beginning. Elton, our brother Elton, know this. If we want to go back, that's how the Unity Party classifies sedition. I mean, before even the 2005, 2006 election, they said these young people that were being president, they were good for nothing. They were people. When you classified another group of Liberians as people who are good for nothing, they have no purpose in life, and etc. They ostracize seditions and name them. Start putting them into category. How the other one and they are not good. Oh, the other one and they are bunch of young people. They this, they that. Seditions were not the one calling members of the Unity Party door. We look at them to be a political party that we are in a contest with or in a contestation with, and we respect their own, side. But unfortunately, they were the one that were labeling us as a bunch of young people, all no good, and name all of the names that you can ever think about. When they even became the government, so to speak, after they were inaugurated and became, the government of the day, what we saw happening, we saw a very big onslaught on seditions. You remember what happened to the party headquarters?
Yeah.
Where they sent police and they killed people at the party headquarters. At the end of the day, what did we do? President Weah said, for the sake of peace, let's not retaliate. That was the situation that was going to cause serious chaos in Liberia, or going to carry us back to the wartime, because people just came from war. You know, people mind will stay traumatized, and you went at their party headquarters and unalive them. But President Weah was able to calm down the tension at the time. Ambassador Weah was able to calm that down. So for you to come and say the CDC started division, then it's not correct. I'm giving you history. There are so many facts. The recordings are here that we can give you. Let's even look at this going election. This going election, lives of seditions were taken away.
Yes.
We were in Nimba. We saw what happened in Nimba. By 2 o'clock, we saw this garden bringing Osa. I've said this thing here. There are some things I will not say, or something I will just say on the surface. We saw this guy coming Osa with single barrel. They collected ballot box inside the. They went to the how you call the city hall. They collected the ballot box from there, and they carried, to the extent the police guys that were there, they ran away. They left on the scene. The police guys said, "My man, you don't bring recording here. Oh. They didn't. We standing here. We're going." I told the guy, I said, "I will be here. I in Liberia, and I ain't nowhere else. That Liberia here. Before coming here, I know how I can. So I here." They ran away. The videos, I play some of these videos. I didn't play all because of some other reason, but the videos are there. We saw sedition being unalive. Look, right in Lofa. Right in Lofa. What happened to Tamba Momo? Stop. Don't do that. Tamba Momo was unalive. He was unalive right in Nimba. Sorry, in how you call the place? Lofa County. What happened? What became of him?
Joshua also.
Thank you very much, Joshua, right in front of us. And there were scores of seditions who were unalive. Nothing came for at the time we were in power, so to speak, or we were the government. We did not retaliate. So for you to say that it started with the CDC, then I think that it is wrong. But again, that's your opinion. But I want us to talk on something last before we can leave.
Yeah, quick.
The hospital. That hospital that was built in Grand Jide, President Weah decided that hospital will be named Samuel Kayando Memorial Hospital. This government, under Joseph Juma Boyka, when the vice president went there, instead of maintaining that name, they decided that they will move the name and just say the Grand Jide Hospital. In Nimba County, they have the Jackson Fiado Memorial Hospital. In other places, the Martha Totman Memorial Hospital, and etc., etc. Why is it that the Unity Party don't want to maintain the name of Samuel Kayando on that particular hospital? Why is it that they are going to the length, to the extent that when you listen to even the VP, he be around the bush. He even wanted to call him President Weah name, but again he was forced. He be around the bush, thank the other person, thank the other person, thank the other person. At the end of the day, he still had to come back. And I have the video here. We will try to play the video. At the end of the day, let me see. Let play the video before you comment on it. Let's see if we can play this video. Let's try to play this video, my brother. I'm sorry. Let's try to play this video. Let's hear from him, and then you will be able to comment on that. But let's play the video. Let's play the video right here. Let's play it right here. So I want to stop it right here, my brother Jake. You listening to this guy, Jeremiah Kong. He beat around the bush. Thank the other person. Thank the other person. Oh, the other person. The man who they said damaged Liberia. President Charles Gangi Taylor. The man who they say was responsible for atrocity, who they all gang up against, the late President Samuel Kanyando. He thanked all of these people. At the end of the day, he came to thank President Weah and Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. But why is it my concern is that they are taking the name of the late President Samuel Kanyando from on the hospital, as was initially, suggested by President Weah when he was building that place, that hospital are going to be Samuel Kanyando Memorial Hospital. Why is it that this time around they are changing it? Let's hear from you, my brother Jake.
Let me say something to the followers. Your help, followers, please, before I come in here, your help to follow me on my social media. I'll be having my small podcast concerning training topic in Liberia. Not every time, but major topic will be coming. So you have to follow me on the Facebook. And my name right down the teacher with me. But please help to follow me. Yes. We're in 2026 now. But let me say something to you. a little bit laughable. Laughable, seriously. It's ugly, but it's laughable too. You see, even that proposal, donation do it never started from the president. It started from the people of Grand Jude. They proposed it to the president. John had relationship with the late Samuel Doe during his days in soccer. Everybody know the story. Videos are all there. So they had a relationship with the Samuel. He had a relationship with the Samuel Doe family. Nancy, then everybody had that relation. The Grand Judean know. Zopenon know. They were part of CDC. Grand Jude is a stronghold of CDC. Nobody can take it from CDC. It's reality. But you remember, Prince, the Unity Party came to power through lies and propaganda. So they will not see the vision of the land. They are blinded. That reality. You cannot challenge God. For reality, they lie too much in the corridor. So the visionless, God blind them. Reality, you see the people that were parading in the corridor of the country and outside of the country that they knew Washington, D.C. They know all the top people in the European Union. They move on and shake off on Wall Street. Know a lot of people on Wall Street were all vla. Let me tell you, it's tough on them. It's seriously tough on them. Jeremiah Kuna says she is said to be. Jeremiah Kun will never, I know where he's coming from. He would never acknowledge the president because he believed that the president would be a biggest rival, a political thing. But let me tell you something. I would blame the Zopen on the Grand Judean caucus that in the legislature are representing that county. A former president from your land to name hospital by him whatsoever that you propose. You remember when they cajole Liberian people, they cajole the Grand Judean people. When Mami Done was in the beef, they're trying to establish ugly beef. Then when Joseph Iman Bwaka decided to say, okay, well, when you say occasion, when we bury Done, when we bury trouble, they went to dig some kind of body from somewhere where we know. According to Prince Johnson, that valley, there's no valley for dough. They chunk in the water a long time. The videos are there. The videos are there. You can go find it yourself. So they just dog place a thing. They pour some dough in cast. They do trouble. They say they take in the Grand Jude to bring dough outside to bury dough again. So they believe that Grand Jude people say yeah. And the president brought dough body or Ovla. The main thing for you to do now for the country, for the Grand Judean people, to say, oh, let me tell you, you're not be like people so naive. You remember that they see Samuel Doe sack. They see Samuel Doe. He sacked Joseph Iman Bwaka. He's sacking for embezzlement at the Ministry of Agriculture. Now they suspend as a sack for that calling for embezzlement a lot of time. That one used to go around. The records are there. You go to newspaper, the Daily Observer, they do no days. Now, what some of what we are, like, people don't read, I want to think about them today. Everybody can lie to them. He sacked Samuel, he sacked Joseph Himan Buaka for embezzlement as the Minister of Agriculture. Now, facts. So, what's it Buaka let the Doe family? If Buaka let the Doe family, why you cannot give Mami Doe job now? Why you cannot give Mami Doe job? So, there's a political sheriff, man, Prince. They changed me, or it left with the Grandidian people, it left with our people, it left with them to say, no, Jeremiah Kun, this is our hero. Why can you change me? Chasea Joe never even became president. Maybe he probably run to become president, but he never. But Samuel Doe was president of our country. He came from our side. He came from our Tucson side. He came from our side, from Grand Gideon. So I left with the Grand Gideon people to say, no, we're not taking that thing here from the vice president. No matter how you can call it play, but we in Grand Gideon, this is the president, this is our son name. We'll call it Samuel Doe Referral Hospital, whatsoever. The leader here, Grand Gideon Hospital, because of the need we have on the initial stage. Now you started the project. Through the German government, we started the project. Now the project not even finished, you can't deliver the project here for what? For what? It's a shame on you. But as you know, because we have gullible society, the Grandidian people sort of neglect that ceremony. All of them sort of go back. Let the vice president go dedicate it. Let it not finish, go dedicate something. It's a shame on the United Party government. Then they deny your son of the soil, that became president of the nation, that started development. If you can still remember vividly, who paid the American people debt? Who was earning our own currency? The 7 Doe coin, that 7 corner coin. Well, he paid the American people debt. He started to pay the American people debt. He started some infrastructure in the Republic of Liberia. He started a lot of infrastructure in the Republic of Liberia. So he had a fingerprint in the country also. Some don't have a lot of fingerprint. Which is why Driver will play from the playboard of Samuel Doe. People don't receive. And Samuel Doe was a developmental politician. He from the army background. He led to develop. But we never gave him change because propaganda is smeared that brought our civil war today. But if you look at Georgia played from the same playbook to develop the country. And Georgia became master. He lived from the master. And he became master of it today. And what today they can challenge the developmental, they can challenge by in the country concerning development. But please, they left with the Liberian people, they left with the Grandidian people to say, no, Mr. Vice President, no matter what you say, we'll call this hospital Samuel Doe Referable Hospital. Is now you started it. Now the Unity Party, you get one idea only. You never lay ground. Georgia break ground here, and through his partners, the German partners, other people, they brought the hospital here. The hospital had a finish. They left that Zopin on it doing a clear statement. Let me tell you today. I will bring Zopin. Why you not making statement? His own reality. The own reality, because he get hatred for the president, so he go to the level here. But he's not taking his people for the Samuel Doe family.
Thank you so much, my brother Jake. I want to use this time to say thanks to all of our people who called, those who texted, those who send their comments. We value and appreciate all of your comments. Even those ones that, disagree with us, we respect it. And that's the way to go. That we must be tolerant of each other, despite of our own political belief or affiliation. I want to say thanks to all of you. Until we meet again.
You follow the show now? Monday?
Definitely, we gotta follow the SONA because that would be something that we'll talk about maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
If I have the time, we'll talk about it briefly tomorrow. What is your expectation on the SONA?
No, that wait for it.
No, but we just want to talk about it on a surface level before.
Oh, okay.
But I agree. We have to wait for it, But I agree with you. But until we meet again tomorrow, I want to say thanks to each and every one of you for your continuous support. Don't forget to follow our brother Jake, And most of the time, sometimes, we may not have the time to be on, especially at certain time, because of the time and the hustle. So he has a platform and trying to create a platform so that he can touch on some of these burning or trending issue as they
Yeah.
arise. So please follow his page,
Yeah,
like the
Deacon
page,
Whitmore. Yeah,
and
you follow
also
my
follow him,
Facebook.
so that
You let
you
on
can
my
get the
Facebook follower,
information.
please. You
So
let on my
uh,
Facebook. You let
that is that.
debunk all these
So let's
propagandists.
go ahead and follow him, So that is that. Until we meet again, I want to say thanks to everybody and let's have a
Okay.
great day. Please keep
Okay.
safe out there. The
Bye-bye.
snowstorm is raging. The information that we are gathering is very, very is not pleasing, especially over the United States about this snow storm that is going to be taking over. It's going to be very terrible. In fact, there are some states that have already called, out. You know, it's horrible. I'm not trying to make anybody afraid, but let's pray for each other. Keep safe out there. When you can get yourself a torchlight, you get yourself, some dry food that you can eat in case it go beyond the day expected, that you can stay, be okay. Make sure your phones are charged. Get your power bank. Make sure your power bank is there. If you have a power bank, if not, charge your phone and try to make sure that your phone has current in it. Don't just go looking out for things. Even if you are using your phone now, make sure it's on charge so that it can be fully charged. Keep your phone open to family, to friends, and etc. Because the information that we are gathering about this snowstorm is going to be, you know, somehow it's going to be ugly. So just keep safe out there. Try to avoid driving on the street if you don't have no reason of going anywhere. Most work will be calling out or will be, excusing their people. When they excuse you not to go to work, sit down home. The roads are going to be very, very ugly, according to the reports that we are getting. We're going to be very icy out there, and we don't want you to get involved into anything that is going to put you in harm's way. We love you all. Thank you so much for the support. Until we meet again, have yourself a God bless day. Mwah. Bye from my end. Thank you.
We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money, that I beg the money should be used to bless our people. Thank you and God bless.